From ancient floodplains to copper mines in the desert, the book of Genesis is not just a sacred text. It may also be a window into real history. Today, we uncover 9 archaeological discoveries that echo the stories found in the Bible's first book, Genesis. Number 1. Noah's Ark and the Mesopotamian Flood. Long believed to describe a global flood, many scholars now argue that Genesis refers to a localized but catastrophic flood in the Mesopotamian plain. In modern-day Iraq, excavations in ancient cities like Shuruppak and Uruk reveal layers of flood clay dated to around 2900 BC. Interestingly, the Sumerian king list names a man called Ziusudra, or Noah, living in Shuruppak. The Ark's traditional resting place wasn't always Mount Ararat, but rather Mount Judy, located just above the floodplain. The region had pitch and imported wood, just as Genesis describes, and early Mesopotamians used bitumen to waterproof boats centuries before Noah's time. The Epic of Gilgamesh, discovered in 1872, describes a flood nearly identical to the biblical account, further suggesting a shared cultural memory of this event. 2. The Tower of Babel. Genesis 11 speaks of a tower built from fired brick and bitumen, right in the plain of Shinar, an early name for Babylon. Archaeology confirms that kiln-fired bricks and bitumen were used in early Mesopotamian structures, such as the ziggurat in Uruk, dating as far back as 3500 BC. Ziggurats, tiered temple towers, match the biblical description, and dozens have been uncovered across Sumer and Babylonia. The Tower of Babel, it seems, fits well within the region's architectural and cultural practices. 3. Joseph sold into slavery. Skeptics once dismissed the Genesis account of Joseph's sale to Ishmaelite traders, but records now confirm an active incense trade route by 1800 BC, predating Joseph's estimated lifetime. Joseph was sold for 20 shekels of silver, precisely the going rate for slaves during the 18th century BC. Later prices rose to 30, and by the 6th century BC, when critics claim the story was invented, slaves cost up to 100 shekels. This detail strongly supports the early authenticity of the Genesis account. 4. The copper mines of Edom. Once thought to be legend, the kingdom of Edom, home to Esau's descendants, has been brought to life in the Timnah Valley of southern Israel. Archaeologists uncovered industrial-scale copper mining from 1300–800 BC. These mines match biblical references to Edom's strength and industry, and confirm its existence centuries earlier than scholars once believed. Egyptian influence in the area turned Edom into a copper powerhouse, just as the Bible hints in Deuteronomy, a land whose stones are iron and from whose hills you may mine copper. 5. The cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. Genesis 14 names 5 cities of the plain, including Sodom and Gomorrah. Excavations at Bab-etch-Dra, near the Dead Sea, reveal a city and cemetery burned from the top down, now buried beneath several feet of ash. While the exact cause remains debated, the destruction pattern aligns with the biblical account of divine fire. The city's sudden and complete ruin makes it a prime candidate for the infamous Sodom. 6. Ebla Tablets and the Garden of Eden. In the 970s, archaeologists at Ebla in Syria uncovered tablets from before 2000 BC. One creation hymn reads, "The earth was not, you created it. The light of day was not, you created it." Cylinder seals found in the region depict a man and woman reaching for fruit with a serpent behind them, strikingly similar to Genesis 3. These artifacts suggest that Genesis-like stories circulated well before Moses' time. 7. The Dead Sea Scrolls. In 1947, a shepherd stumbled upon what became one of the most important finds of the 20th century, the Dead Sea Scrolls. Among over 800 documents, were fragments from almost every Old Testament book, including Genesis. Dating from the 3rd century BC to the 1st century AD, these scrolls show that the text of Genesis has been preserved with remarkable accuracy for over 2,000 years, despite being copied by hand. 8. Abraham's journey from Ur to Haran. After leaving Ur, Abraham settled in Haran, a city at the crossroads of major trade routes along the Balak River. Excavations reveal a large mud brick structure dating to the 3rd millennium BC, possibly an early temple to the moon god Sin, whom Abraham's father may have worshipped. The conical, beehive-shaped homes in Haran reflect architectural traditions thousands of years old, linking us directly to the time of the patriarchs. 9. Mount Moriah and the sacrifice of Isaac. Genesis 22 describes God calling Abraham to sacrifice Isaac on Mount Moriah. This sacred hill would later become the site of Solomon's temple, and today is marked by the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. Architectural studies show a 20-cubit square space carved in bedrock beneath the dome, matching the size of the Holy of Holies described in 1 Kings. This site marks not only Abraham's test of faith, but the very heart of biblical worship. From river plains to mountain peaks, Genesis may be more than sacred myth. These 9 discoveries give voice to ancient stones, whispering that the stories of Scripture echo not just in belief, but also in the dust of the earth. Subscribe for more biblical archaeology and faith-affirming content. Patheos.com, where many people find daily insights and inspiration.